Hi students, now we are going to derive an expression for the moment of inertia of a uniform rod about an axis passing through one end. Look at the diagram. You can see this is a uniform rod of mass m and length L. This time the axis of rotation passes through one end and it is assumed to be made up of small elements each of mass dm and thickness dx. Okay, we will introduce the terms which are used in the derivation now. Now capital M denotes the mass of the rod, small l denotes the length of the rod, dm represents the mass of one small element and dx represents the length of the small element. Since it is a uniform rod, the mass per unit length of the rod must be the same at every point. It is represented by the symbol sigma, that is equal to the total mass divided by the total length, or that is equal to the mass of the small element divided by the length of the small element. So this ratio is a constant and which is called by the name linear mass density, has a unit of kilogram per meter. Okay, so dm by dx is equal to m by l. Therefore, dm, the mass of one small element, is equal to m by l into dx. Have you understood, students? Okay, now before finding the moment of inertia of the entire rod, as usual, we will choose only one element of mass dm, which is at a distance of x from the axis of rotation. So, what is its moment of inertia? I will find out first the moment of inertia of a small element. Okay, that is a small element about the given axis. About the given axis is denoted by the symbol di. So this is equal to dm into x square. So the moment of inertia of only a small element is represented by di, and this is at a distance of small x. Like that, now we find the moment of inertia of the entire uniform rod, about the given axis which is passing through one end. So that is denoted by the symbol capital I, that is equal to integral of dm into x square, where x is the variable. X is the distance of each and every small element from one end to the other end. Since the first element which is in contact with the axis of rotation, its distance x is equal to 0, and the last element is at a distance L, which is equal to the length of the rod itself. Therefore, the limits of the integral must be 0 and L. I will substitute for dm now. So, this is equal to m by L into dx into x square, ranging from lower limit 0 to upper limit L. Since m by L is a constant, I am taking that out of the integral into integral 0 to L x square into dx. So this is equal to m by L into integral of x square dx is x cube by 3. So this is equal to x cube divided by 3 between 0 and L. So as usual, I will substitute the upper limit first. The lower limit vanishes. So by taking 3 as a common factor, so I is now equal to m divided by 3L into, instead of x cube, I will write L cube minus 0. So this is equal to mL cube divided by 3L. So that L cube and L can be cancelled, so that the power gets reduced to L square. Therefore, I is equal to mL square divided by 3. mL square divided by 3. Okay, students, earlier we found that when the axis of rotation passes through the center of mass of the rod, the moment of inertia was found to be mL square by 12. Okay. Now when the same, for the same rod, when the axis is passing through one end, Now the moment of inertia is found to be how much? I is equal to ml square by 3. So ml square by 3 is greater than ml square by 12. So this can be derived also from the parallel axis theorem. Is it not? You see, for example, if I will consider the parallel axis theorem, one axis passing through the center of mass, the other axis is passing through the one end like this. So this can be taken as I and this can be taken as I center of mass. So this I is equal to ml square by 3. Okay, so this is I is equal to now ml square by 12 plus capital M into d square. Instead of d square, I can write as what? L by 2 the whole square. So this is equal to what? ml square by 12 plus ml square by 4. So that this is equal to, now LCM is 12. So if I take the LCM means this is ml square plus 4, that is this is 12 means 3 ml square. So this is 3 ml square whole divided by 12. If you take ml square plus 3 ml square will come as what? 4 ml square. So this is equal to what? 4 ml square by 12. This is now equal to ml square by 3. Just a verification, that's all. The simple verification using the parallel axis theorem. Now the center of mass is located here, so that the axis of rotation when it passes through the center of mass means the moment of inertia is denoted by IC. This only we have derived earlier as what? ml square by 12. So I is equal to IC plus m into d square. In that I have substituted and once again I have derived the expression for the same I is equal to ml square by 3. This is also verified correctly. Have you understood, students? Okay, bye then. See you.